Hey there, welcome back to my channel, LeeBeeBuilds. My name is Aaliyah, and today we've got a really exciting video. This is a collab build with JemSims. All of her information will be down below. And so for this video, she has done the exterior to this winter lodge. And her video on this will be in the description, so if you haven't already seen that, I would recommend watching it just because she is doing the exterior, which would help make my video make a little bit more sense because I'm doing the interior. But I just wanted to do a quick little tour of what we've got to work with just before we get started. I'm here just with a random sim Alice that I made in like 30 seconds, but we're gonna just quickly see what we've got to work with. I love the vibe. I think she did a really good job. Like the terrain here makes it look like the snow has piled up so much, and it looks like we've got like a little exterior little shed type thing to work with here. Not sure what I'm gonna do with that yet. But then as we get here, we've got the main house that looks like it's got like a little bit of here, I'll go down. Yeah, so it's got like a little bit of like a pathway going over to this part. And then there's an outjutting here too with a nice cute little patio. There's a lot of windows though, so the layout is gonna be interesting like for this. Just because there's so many windows, I wonder, that'll be interesting. And I think that was it, yes. And yeah, that looks really nice even from behind. It looks really nice. I definitely think it fits like the whole lodge vibe. I really am enjoying this. And oh, she did all those lights from Parenthood too. Okay, I like this. This is great. So I get to do the interior now. So for the rest of this video, it will actually just be a regular speed build, but I just wanted to introduce the video and kind of show what we have to work with that Gemma has given to me beforehand. So without further ado, let's get into the speed build. Hey, we're in the future now. So you just saw me do a little intro, first reaction of the exterior that JemSims had built for our collab, and now in the future I have furnished it, and so here we are in the speed build now. And I have to say this experience was a lot of fun for me. I really enjoyed the kind of shell challenge aspect of this in a way, because Gemma, she did do like the outside, put all the windows in, and kind of gave me such like a footprint to the house, but then I had to like kind of figure out the layout and everything, and so it really is somewhat of a shell challenge in a way. Even though like we talked about it beforehand, we were like, this is the style we're gonna do, and it was gonna be like a residential kind of lodge type feel, so like we talked about what it was gonna be beforehand, so it's not like a true shell challenge where you kind of get to do whatever you want, because like we discussed what we were gonna do, and so that was really the difference there. But it still has that same vibe, because I had a lot of trouble actually with the layout of this, because there's like that hallway pass-through area right we're not looking at it right now, so I can't really point it out to you. It's like that little hallway past right there, and I didn't know what to do with it, because it was kind of like I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know if I wanted to put a hallway. It was kind of awkward to put separate rooms, so I ended up just making it like an open like study area, and I put those like half walls to kind of break it off so it wasn't just like huge and open, and I think that worked well. But at first like I had to pause like the recording a bunch to kind of sit there and go like, what do I do with this? Like I couldn't figure it out. And same with like this area here with all the windows. I was like, how do I break this up? And so one of the bathrooms ends up not even having a window, which is fine, it's just a bathroom. But at first I was like, down here, for example, the bathroom here doesn't have a window too, but I almost made it so that the bedroom didn't have any windows, and I was like, oh shoot, I've got to flip it around and do it the other way so that the bedroom can have windows. So that's what I mean about it being like kind of like a shell challenge, but like a little bit more intense, because I didn't get to kind of choose like where the windows and stuff were beforehand, and so it kind of like limits you a little bit on the layout. Because for example, like if it was a 2-tile window, you can't put a wall like right down the middle. You have to do the wall on like where the windows end, right? So I don't know, it was a lot of fun. And if you like collabs are actually really fun to do, because we discussed beforehand what we wanted to do. We were like, let's do a lodge, and I was like, yeah, sure, I've never done a lodge before. I didn't even have a save that was in winter, so I had to make a new save to like build in so that it would look all wintry and nice. And that goes to show that like this little collab kind of really opened up my furnishing style a lot, because I never use browns other than like the wood flooring. I like wood flooring, obviously brown, right? But brown furniture, the brown bookcases, the brown walls even, like I don't use that stuff in my game or in my building. So it was a lot of fun kind of experimenting with swatches and even furniture that I never use, because those couches I never use, but I think they fit this like lodge vibe so perfectly. Oh, also I put the Winterfest tree in there just because I thought it kind of fit the wintry vibes. Like obviously it's not always Winterfest, so that doesn't always need to be there, but I just kind of like thought it looked really nice and pretty, so I did put the tree in. So that's just a little thing there. But obviously that can just be removed, and any kind of like decorative table or something can be replaced there. But I thought the tree looked really nice. So, and winter for me, I'm not a huge fan of winter in real life. So winter for me, I honestly just think about like the holidays and like bright like twinkle lights and stuff. So I was like, I don't know what to do to this house. So whatever, and ended up with a Winterfest tree. And now we're actually in the kitchen, and the kitchen is very brown as well, because I went with like brown everything in this house because I thought that felt very lodge-like, in my opinion. Like obviously you can have like your winter cottage being like super modern, but I think the normal vibe for lodges and like cottages are very like woodsy, and that's just like my own opinion on that. But also like going off of like what Gemma had made, she did use those really big windows that I tend to use in like modern builds, so I kind of like was thinking about it, and I think they fit really well in more like lodgy builds too, now that I think about it, like if you like using different swatches and stuff. Because when you think about it, like I don't know if you've ever seen like those like A-frame like cottages with like windows lining the whole thing. I think that's the vibe she was going for, and I think that fits perfectly in stuff like this. So like even though it's like lodgy, it doesn't necessarily have to use like more dated looking windows. It can use like the modern windows, you know? I feel like I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent, but in terms of what I'm doing right now, this is at the entrance, and I was like, what should I do to like make this a little more interesting? So I figured like I would make like a little like hallway closet there, because I like if you are having like a winter ski lodge type house, then maybe you have like a lot of space to put all your winter coats and stuff, and maybe all your equipment. So I just kind of lined it with all those shoe racks and clothing racks, just because I thought it was kind of like realistic to maybe what people would have if they in a like a winter lodgy place from their getaway from the world. And here we are. Actually, I mentioned this earlier, the little office area that I had mentioned, because I didn't know what I wanted to do with it, because like the windows were lining the whole thing. So I was like, how do I do the layout? And then I figured like, why not just have it in an open room? Because I wasn't sure if it was going to be like a bedroom, but then I was like, where do I put the hallway? Oh, it's too small now. And then I was like, okay, well, let's just make it a huge office. So there's room for, there's 2 computers, so that means like if one sim is just being a little turd face and when they visit you and they just sit on your computer, you still have the opportunity to go to the other computer to do whatever, like, probably job or whatever your sim needs to be doing. Like, say your sim is a writer and you're like, why are you just playing a video game on this computer when my sim needs to make money for the family? Well, now you have 2 computers to be able to do that. And so this area here, I kind of had in mind as being like the more master bedroom kind of area, because they're off on their own little wing of the house. And so they have like their own bedroom with their own bathroom. Every bedroom has its own bathroom actually, but this one like is separated from the other bedrooms that were upstairs in the like main area of the building. And so this area here has the master bedroom downstairs here, but then up those stairs I made a little fitness area that you will see me furnishing later on in this footage, because that won't happen until after the other 2 bedrooms are furnished. But this here is like the master bedroom, and this is a huge room first of all, but also I liked the idea of it being completely lined with the windows, and they would have such a nice view of like the pretty snow in the winter, but they also have some sort of privacy because of the terrain there, so it's not like fully like open to the world. Like they can still have a little bit of that privacy. And basically I just filled it with some basic clutter without going too overboard. And then in the bathroom here they have a tub, a little shower room, which you can see I just blocked off and made an entrance for. So yeah, there's going to be a tub and a shower like the one from Discover University in the shower room. And then obviously toilet and a sink. And it's not overly like a luxurious bathroom or anything, because that wasn't really the plan with this house. It wasn't supposed to be like super luxurious. It was supposed to be very cottagey and warm and inviting, not necessarily like fancy and whatnot. However, the house is really expensive, so but in terms of the actual build style, it wasn't supposed to be really fancy and modern. It was supposed to be very like, this family likes to be in the outdoors. They like the wood tones, and they're very like, maybe they like to go do the outdoor activities, so they're not necessarily worried about the indoors being like super like fancy, because this is how I would imagine maybe more of like their like winter cottage home, not necessarily their full-time home. I wish you could own multiple lots in The Sims 4, because that would just be really ideal for this kind of lot, because I would imagine like they have a home somewhere else that's like their regular home that maybe isn't even this vibe at all, but then this is the home they come to in the winter for their skiing, or even in the summer, like maybe there's a lake nearby and they can go swimming. And so this is more of like a cottagey lodge vibe for maybe more rich family, because this is a really large building. It's built on a 50 by 50 lot in Willow Creek, so it's massive. It's not a small home. It's definitely like for a family with a little bit more cash money, you know. But that's also just because like if you can afford to have like a cottage home like this, then like you probably have a little bit of money in your pocket. But so yeah, there's 3 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, because there's one in the shed out in the front that I wasn't sure I wanted to do with, but there's a small little half bath out in that shed in the front. So if your sim is just getting home to your lot and they can't make it to the indoor bathrooms, there's one that's literally like right at the front of the lot in that shed, so that's actually a really convenient place for your sim to go to the bathroom. But so yeah, there's 3 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, but then technically, like if you were really inclined, the little fitness room that I had mentioned before, you could always literally delete all the items in there and transform it into a bedroom if you had like a larger family. Like this, for sleeping purposes, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beds or 6 sleeping spaces, so you could get another double bed up in that fitness area. that if it's a double bed, then that's 8 full like Sims that could live in this house, because there is space for that. But I figured like furnishing another bedroom would have just been pretty boring for footage, and so I figured like maybe they have like a fitness area, because they're very like outdoorsy people, but sometimes it rains and sometimes you don't want to go out for your run or your skiing. Like sometimes you just want to like stay inside but still get your workout in. So you've got the all sorts of different workout equipment in that room. And so this room here, it is a double bed in here, and at first I was like, this is more of like a spare bedroom kind of vibe. So like I said, this being like a more cottagey type home, that perhaps the like person lives there could just be like a teen in the home or something, or maybe they have like 2 teen kids or whatever, as well as like 2 kids in the other room. Like it's very open to whoever you want in that room. Or even like, you know what, it would be really interesting if this wasn't like as your main gameplay house, and then you like visited it for like a weekend or a week or something in your sim time, and say you had a family of 4 and you decide we're gonna go on a little vacation up to the mountains, which is really just some terrain tools, but we're gonna go on a little trip, and then you like maybe add a few Sims to your household. You're like, hey kids, you can invite your friends and we can all go on a trip up to our cottage, and then your children bring like their like a friend or 2, and so like there's extra space in the house for that, because there's like the master bedroom, but then say you had two teen or 1 teen and like 2 kids, and the teen wanted to bring a friend, like they could share the bed in that like spare bedroom kind of. Like that's just a thought. I think that would be kind of cool for gameplay, and it's obviously a lot of work to like move your household, because you can't just own 2 houses. They really should let us do that, because that would be really sick if you could just have like a second home in The Sims. But right now that's not a thing, so oh well. But I think that would still be a really cool like gameplay story wise, if you were really into like a huge storytelling kind of gameplay vibes. And actually right now I just started that bathroom that I had mentioned earlier. So yeah, it's right at the front of the lot. So yeah, you have to walk into this little shed, but it has like the toilet and the sink, so your sim, hopefully if they're inside the house, they don't automatically try to walk all the way outside to that one, because that would be tragic. But it is here for if your sim just got back to the lot and they really have to go to the washroom and their needs are super low, you can just send them quickly to the closest bathroom, which would be this one, and maybe save them from a bladder failure mishap. But this room also just has different skill building items. So there's like the flower arranging table, there's the woodworking table, and I put like the game table in here just because it's a shed, so it's more of like a storage space. So like say your Sims wanted to have like a game night, you can like go into build mode, drag that like table and add like 2 chairs, because I was gonna put like extra chairs on the side, but then it would have just been too cluttered. So I figured just 2 chairs attached to the table would be enough, where you could drag it into the house, like into the side of the living room, and you can have your Sims like have a little card game night or something. Okay, so we are coming up to the end of the video now. The screenshots of the interior will be rolling soon, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video, and if you haven't, please check out JemSims' channel. She is great, and I just want to say thank you all for watching this again. So that is all. Bye-bye!